How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about SOFI, which ended up making another 52-week low on the day at $6.09. You guys can tell from my expression. Hey, I don't mind if this stock breaks through 6 and starts trading in the 5s, because this is a long-term play. But I know there's a lot of traders out there that have been taking advantage of the price action to the downside. We'll talk about it further in this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for SOFI. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $6.15, being down 2.23%. On the low, it tested $6.09, and then on the high, testing $6.46. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 42.332 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 46.62 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, and we've seen a slight pullback in the stock. But as you can see what's going down inside of the after hours since Facebook released their earnings, we're seeing some strength in SOFI. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 28.63, so it's deep in that oversold territory. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, the 100-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. And it's clear to see that we are trading below all of our major moving averages, which puts SOFI in a bear market. We also did end up making another 52-week low on the day at $6.09. So going into tomorrow, if we have strength inside of these markets, I'd want to see us hold up at least above $6.09. If we see some weakness or if SOFI doesn't move alongside with the market, then we want to see if support could hold right at $6. And if we break through 6, you guys already know what it looks like when it comes to the 5s. Now, if we're looking for some strength now, since we did have Facebook putting out some solid earnings, and if we have money coming into tech, I would love for us to actually make a move above $6.50. If we can get above $6.50, then I want to see if we can make that test further above $6.73. Because if we can get above $6.73, then I'm going to be looking for a move going to around $7. Like I was saying in my previous video, I think it'd be quite the accomplishment if SOFI could finish above $7 before the end of the week. So we still got some days left, so let's see what it does. But if you're a bull and you're looking for a really strong move, then it needs to reclaim the 21-day EMA, which is at $7.59. Now let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for SOFI. Scrolling down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we're going to take a look at the recent filings for April the 27th. So we have Boston Partners Global Long and Short Fund Institutional Class with a short position of 22,965 shares, and we also have Centerpoint Advisors LLC that purchased 200 shares. We also see Boston Partners Long and Short Research Fund Investors Class with another short position at 264,518 shares, and then we have Baker Tilly Financial that purchased 12,920 shares. So now when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 41.65%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 8.54 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, short shares availability is at 650,000, updated 18 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 1.48%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 25th, it is at 35.70, and then for the close of the 26th being at 41.6. 0.65. So we do see an increase right there. And when we take into consideration the short interest percentage of the float being at 19.61%, SOFI does have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution.
Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for SOFI. So we see on the inflow, it's at 43.31 million, and then on the outflow, it's at 47.08 million. So we ended up having an outflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large, it was 0. On the medium, it was 28.95, and then on the small, it was 14.36. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large, it was 0. On the medium, it was 32.58, and then on the small, it was 14.50. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for April the 27th, which is today, ended up being 0. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying, but it was still fairly close. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And of course, for the large, it represents whales, institutions, and funds. We had 0 on both sides. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 5.13%. So this is not too bad for a stock like SOFI. It is continuing to be consistent. We know it does trade at relatively high volume. And considering the conditions that we have inside of the markets, as far as hitting another 52-week low, you have to agree with me on this one. It wasn't surprising whatsoever. So now let's get into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for SOFI, when it comes to the price action, like I said earlier in the video, we hit a 52-week low of $6.09. So what we want to see going into tomorrow, especially if you want to see some strength, we had Facebook that ended up releasing their earnings inside of the after hours, and it got good reception from the market as a whole. It ran up quite a bit. I think it was up like 20 bucks or something like that. So just knowing this, I saw in the after hours for SOFI, we started seeing some green. So if this continues going into tomorrow, the key level that SOFI needs to get above is $6.50. And like I said in my previous videos, if we could close the week above $7, I think that would be a good look for this stock. And the reason why I say this, we do have the Fed meeting going into next week. And like Jerome Powell said in the recent interview, or I should say the meeting that he had 50 basis points on the table. So if he ends up following through with that, so that means it should already be priced in, and SOFI could look forward to having a rally, especially with earnings right around the corner. So that's why I'm saying keep a very close eye on this play. But as far as the price action is concerned, that's what you want to see to the upside. As far as for the downside here, you want to see $6.09 hold. If it doesn't hold, then we could possibly test right at $6 on the nose. And if we break through $6, that's where I feel like it becomes even more attractive for all of my long-term investors out there. If you are a swing trader, it may not be that bad of a decision to get into it either, but just make sure you're using the right risk management. But like I was saying, it can get very interesting, but we have to know we do have to wait on Apple and as well as Amazon's earnings, because that will have an impact on the market. And then when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, we could see that institutions have been loading up on short positions. Do keep in mind, these are just the filing dates. This is not the day of when they took their short positions. I want to make sure I'm being clear about that. But I'm not surprised due to the fact that it is a growth stock. And we know we're going into an environment where we're going to be dealing with interest rate hikes. So of course, institutions are going to be betting on that particular move to the downside. We've talked about this many times already. And then when we took a look at the short interest information, of course, SOFI does continue to have short squeeze potential since there's so many shorts who are vested in this play. So that's why if you are going to be jumping into it, I highly suggest you do your homework and you do your due diligence. But one thing that is clear though, I'm expecting to see a strong move from SOFI, especially if we continue to have strong earnings coming from big tech companies. We got it from Facebook. Now all we need to do is get it from Apple. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and we'll be talking real soon.